to cancel my April TBR. I have the right, I reserve the right to change my mind at any time, okay? Because sometimes you have to reflect, reevaluate your choices, and make better ones. So I'm doing away with my April TBR. I've been in a reading slump. I don't know how about y'all, but we only been in 1 week of April, and each day I've been reading like 7 pages here, 30 pages there, 8 pages here. It's just been horrible, and I haven't enjoyed my read. So if you watched my last video, you know my first read was supposed to be One Door Away by Dean Koontz, which is my first book by him. And I must say this book actually wasn't necessarily horrible. It was, the first few chapters were funny, great dialogue, very interesting. It just didn't hold my interest. It has about each chapter at the beginning brought in 3 different things going on, 3 different plots, and it didn't fuse together by the 100th page. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? And it's about a 600-page book, and I'm like, I don't want to read that right now. Then so I tried to read Sula, which is my second Toni Morrison book that I tried to read. I read The Bluest Eye. And I did a review on that. Love Toni as a person and her artistic work, her literary work, her activism, things of that nature, her accomplishments. However, I could not get into Sula, and I heard that this was good, and I read up until about 100 pages, and this is the book that I've been reading after I said I'm going to DNF. This was my first DNF, and I could not get into this. Let me know, could you get into this? And by the way, this is my first reading vlog, so if you like these, let me know, and I'll do weekly reading vlogs. But oh guys, gals, loves, peeps, beautiful people, I can't get into it. I mean, the burning of the sun, by the mama, the rudeness, how the mom speaks to her children, the mom Eva in this book, is just, I'm like, I can't. And then I tried to start Song of Solomon, that didn't go well. So the classics, it just hasn't been working for me. I do still want to read Mama Day at some point by, I think it was Taylor. I can't remember that author's name, but I do want to read that at some point, and the other reads I have, and eventually finish Toni Morrison's, all the books I have by her. But I had to get out of reading something. So you know what I did? I picked up Freida McFadden. Just can't go wrong. Just need something light, quick, easy to read, thriller, suspense. And so this is what I'm reading already. And the mother in this, if you read this, the mother Erica, just in the first chapter, it's like, it's giving immaturity. It's like, I need you to grow up, okay? She has 2 kids, and the son is her favorite at this point, no matter what he does or what he's capable of, and then how she thinks about the daughter. It's just like, what is going on? But I've read a few books by Freida already, and I know it's just a light read, quick and easy to read for me. So I'm excited to get into that and see how it ends, because I heard it was pretty good. All right, and so from this point on in April, I'm going to read what I want to read. I'm just going to pick. I'm turning into a mood reader. So far this year, I've been following my TBR as was, or as picked, or as chosen, and now I'm gonna read what I want to read. But just keep in mind, the books that I show on my channel here, or anything that I list, that's not the only thing I read, because I do additional research. I also read articles when it comes to professional articles and improving communication, or any skills that I'm working on the HR side, because that's what I do full time. And I also do other research and read other things. But the books I showcase on my channel are really ones that I really want to read. They're just for they're for me, not just entertainment, but also to learn and grow as well. And so yeah, so this vlog is going to be about the reading slump, or not about the this vlog is going to be about The Perfect Son, and we're going to see how I like it. So let's continue. And this is what I have. So girl, this book fell already. So I'm trying to organize my books, y'all, because it's just been looking a mess. But this is what I have so far. I only done the top shelf. This is a new book that I haven't read, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo yet, but I'm excited to get into that one. Maybe we'll get into it on this vlog. I still got books on the floor in my, I actually have to get a frame for my college picture there. But I'm gonna just leave it here for now. I gotta find a place for it. And I gotta dust off this hair. My dog here, Mr. Aston, he's a blue beagle. He sheds all the time, right? You gotta constantly brush him, his hair get everywhere. But he's so sweet. Hey, buddy. And he always sits in my office on this chair. So I eventually will get a new bookshelf, but every book on this shelf is, all these books and the first shelf are books that I bought this year in 2025. And I read all of these except this one. And so, yeah, so that's how that's looking, but I'll keep you updated on that. So it's another beautiful day outside, a perfect day for me to walk. So in between reading during my breaks, I like to take a walk because it's so pretty, you know. That's the joys of working from home, okay? You can make time for things, okay, and get that exercise in. Who else likes to take walks throughout the day? Let me know. So y'all, this is what's on the screen at night. I don't know about y'all, but I have to to get in the mood to go to sleep and ease my mind, I put on either black screen lo-fi or like ocean sounds in the background, and just ease my mind and ease on to sleep. So yeah, catch you in the morning. All right, beautiful people. So it is the next day, and I am already over halfway through with this book, The Perfect Son. Now, listen, this book is good. It's light to read, short chapters, flow right through it. Obviously, this got me out of reading funk because I started this late yesterday afternoon, and now it's Friday. And I'm already almost done with this book. I'll most likely finish it at some point tonight. And what's going on in this book is, I agree with Bookmark Leah. So Bookmark by Leah recently stated that she's kind of going to slow down reading Frida McFadden, because Frida, her books, she said it could get kind of silly. And I see how she sees that, because I'm noticing out of the 5 books, this will be my 5th book read by Frida McFadden, that a lot of her characters, especially the main female characters, are a little bit delusional. It could be a little bit immature. Like the mom in this book, she has 2 children, a boy and a son. I'm sorry, a boy and a son and a daughter. The son is 16, the daughter's like 14 or something like that, and she starts out the book talking about how the son is her favorite, and she has her daughter, she details her daughter as the daughter acts like a normal teenager and immature, and the daughter acts like she doesn't really love her, but the son always telling her she loves her and stuff like that. He makes good grades. She don't have to say too much to him to get what he need to do. But as you go on throughout the book, you find out that, number one, her husband is always working, or claims to be working, and working late. But they had an incident where he came home smelling the perfume. You know the deal. But she went past that because he bought her diamond rings and, you know, flowers, that sort of thing. And then the son, we come to find out that he got kicked out of kindergarten school because of things that he said. He said he wished he had a wife so he could put her in a hole and see how she does without water and stuff. And you're like, what? And he ends up putting one of the students in a closet and duct tape her. And so she still keeps him in school. And every instance, like the second, by this point in time, one of the girls in there, one of his classmates are missing. And it's one of the girls that he pretended, or it seems to like, the girl really liked him, and she's missing now. And she's apparently in this whole, surrounded by dirt, and she thought the boy really liked her, and they ended up going out to the diner with some track boys, because the boy is an athlete, runs track, and he's on the debate team. So he's like seen as prestige from some people, but other students know that he's weird, he acts crazy, or he seems like he's a psychopath or has issues. But the girl that he kidnapped doesn't believe it. But the mom knows these things because she had to take him to a psychologist when he was 9 years old or so. And but the husband is kind of a little bit delusional because he doesn't know a lot what's going on because he's always working. Okay, so it's a lot going on here. And you find that the mom, she knows her convictions, so she has these thoughts, but then she's like, oh, maybe it's not that, Frida does a lot of back and forth, like where the character knows what's going on, can kind of see what's going on, but they will use that, like this mom will use some of the information, or maybe it's just a coincidence, and blah blah blah, knowing the things that are lining up against this boy is not a coincidence, because apparently he used her car to go to the girl's house at the middle of the night and 2 a.m, and apparently he said, well, Dad said I can take a walk if I can't sleep at night. It's like, why would you say that? So it's a lot of craziness going on, but it gets me out. She gets me out. This book got me out of reading Slump, and so so I'm gonna finish it and see how it is. I'm basically on my last break for the day. I'll be clocking out of work soon, but sometimes I just like to, throughout the day, just come out in my backyard and read and catch the sun when it's warm, because it's just so beautiful out here. Who else go in the backyard to just sit and relax and read? And then my dog Aston come out with me sometimes. Hold on, I'll show you. Aston, hi buddy, you gonna say hi? Aston will just sit out here and feel the breeze, honey, get a little sunburn. He likes to chew on sticks. So, yeah. But I don't know if it's the older age. I'm in my late 30s. But I enjoy just coming out in the backyard. Who else? Let me know. But yeah, let's get back to finishing this book. It's Saturday, April 12th. So we have some time. And it's about to be a spoiler alert. Okay? So if you don't want any spoilers on The Perfect Son, you can skip past it. But here's my April bookmark. I don't know if I showed y'all. Be happy. Each month I get a new bookmark to read. But The Perfect Son is so much to unpack with this book. So much to unpack. And it was a good read. It wasn't a great read. It wasn't an outstanding read, but it was good. I give it a 3.75. For it to be a 4 for me, it just, like Kenny Ryan's books have been a 4. S.A. Cosby's 4 and 5s. S.A. Cosby this year has been 4 and 5. Tanana Redo have been a 5. I mentioned that. Frida McFadden's book, they're either been 3.75s or 4s for me. This is 3.75 because it's a story that keep you interested long enough to get to the end, right? But if you don't like immaturity, if you don't like silliness with the adults, then Frida is going to just annoy you over and over again, okay? Because the way the mother in this book thinks of her kids, I'm like, obviously she has a favorite. She has 2 kids. The son is the favorite despite some of his behaviors. He's a straight A student, but she treats the daughter a little bit as an annoyance. versus showing the daughter love or adjusting to her needs of how she needs to learn. Okay, what's causing her not to make these good grades? She just chalks it up as the daughter is 14, she's a teenager, it's a phase. But she doesn't really take the time to connect with the daughter. And then with the son, even though he's her favorite, as she constantly mentions, and she says, I knows my son's well, I knows what he does, and she makes the assumption that she knows things that she doesn't know. She puts past behaviors and conclusions of what's going on in reality to what it could be this, or it may just be this. And delusion at its best. And this book really does a great job with what you should know already, is to pay attention to pattern behavior. Her husband, the whole time she thinks she has a good husband, and the husband is working, supposedly going to work and doing all these business trips, and works really late, when the whole time it wasn't the son who had the girl named Olivia, which was the girl he liked, in the hole for multiple days. It was actually the father, her husband. Her husband ended up turning out to be a serial killer. His name was Jason, and she was married to him for 20 years, and she did not know that he didn't really have a job. He was just making money. He really did develop a company. He wasn't educated, but he developed a company and was able to sell it in his early years, in his 20s. And it's like, girl, and she's like, oh, I didn't know my husband was doing all this. Well, I thought we had a normal life. And we have to I made a video about this a while ago, but normal isn't great. Normal, if you're looking to be normal, you're looking to be average, you're looking to get the average pay, you're looking to have the average mentality, not to be a critical thinker, you're looking to not do extraordinary. So she thought her whole life, she said, oh, I was normal, my husband wouldn't do this, but she thought the son would do it because of the son's track record, in the sense. But she couldn't pay attention to anything. So she wasn't really paying attention to the son, who she thought she knew. She thought she had a great husband when she did it. She didn't pay attention to the signs, the patterns, and the husband ended up being crazy. And then the son, in the end, the way the epilogue goes off, the son ends up still dating the girl that was put in the hole, because he ended up killing the husband. The daughter followed the husband to the hole at one night, because the husband was waking up at night, and he was actually giving his wife more than Xanax. She thought she was taking Xanax for her anxiety and depression things in order to sleep, and he put in a strong dose of something else. And so she wasn't really paying attention that it was him missing at night, not her son. So it's just all over the place. But this book did get me out of a funk. I was in a reading slump, and I quickly got out of it. I love thrillers. I will pick up another Freida McFadden. I do want to read The Inmate. So if you read this book, let me know, what did you think about The Perfect Son? How many books have you read by Freida McFadden? Well, we friends over here, all right? And thank you so much. If you don't know, I'm Darnaya Darice. On this channel, I do lifestyle motivation, bookish content, vlogs, you get to know. Girl, I can't be dropping my new books now. But but let me know. All right, we're gonna end this vlog here because it's getting windy, a little bit wind, but it's so beautiful outside. Let me show you while I'm doing this spiel. Go ahead, subscribe. Okay, let me show you what our front yard is looking like. All right, so this is what the front yard is looking like. The flowers are blooming really nicely, but have to fill in some mulch here. Every time it storms or rains here, the mulch gets pushed back or knocked over, and so we have to redo that. But I love these little pink flowers. But yeah, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, always remember to keep rising. Just don't take it. Just don't be.